It is Tuesday, the 18th day of April 2023. Hello there and welcome to UBC News Tonight. On sign language, it is Elizabeth Nakakoni and I am Rukidi Kijjanangoma. First though, let's have a look at our top stories. In our top stories tonight, President Museveni hails Russian leader Putin for cooperation with African leaders. Police detains State Minister for Karamoja, Agnes Nandutu. General Muhoozi in Kabale for celebrations of the Gatuna border reopening tomorrow. And in sports, Uganda's top bicycle riders bracing up for the upcoming Labor Day bicycle race. Hello there and welcome once again. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. Now, President Yoweri Museveni has commissioned into flight first ever overhauled and upgraded Russian helicopter at Pro-Hel Plant International Services Limited at Nakasongola Air Base in Nakasongola District. During the ceremony, President Museveni praised Russian leader Vladimir Putin for stabilizing Russia and allowing cooperation with African countries, as well as strengthening the country again following the collapse of the Soviet Union in the 1980s that had cut off all contacts with African countries. The President also commended the Managing Director of NEC, Lieutenant General Mugira, for the initiative to follow up on the project. The partnership with Pro-Hel is described as that of common sense, with a big demand in Uganda that has helicopters which need maintenance, overhaul and upgrading. President Museveni welcomed and supported ideas fronted by the Chief Executive Officer Pro-Heli to have the Sukhois also overhauled and upgraded at the facility.
Has no problem with us. We have never had a problem with Russia. Russia has never had a problem with us. And they want freedom in their own area. So our interests converge. So I'm very glad that I want to congratulate President Putin for stabilizing Russia and strengthening it again. Now, these partnerships, like with Pro-Heli, is common sense. Because there is big demand here. We have got these helicopters, the fixed wing, they need maintenance, they need overhaul, they need upgrading. So, which is better, to do it there or here? Yeah, so common sense. But of course, common sense is not always common. So, therefore, what Pro-Heli are proposing, that we should include the Sukhoi also to be overhauled here. I support it. We support it. So this is convenient for everybody, but also better economics. Because our labor costs here are lower. Those engineers, they're highly trained. Our education system is very strong. So those engineers are well trained. But they are not as expensive as the ones in Europe.
Your Excellency, with this facility, we are now able to offer technical services for sustainment of our air assets of the Ministry of Defense and other clients within Africa and beyond. Indeed, they are already showing interest. For us who have been moving around, They have been asking about this facility.
We have set up modern laboratories both for radio and avionics. Today we are able to carry out test all the major components of the aircraft, and this can enable us to reduce the turnaround time not only for the maintenance but also modernization of the standard radio and avionics components, and also design new advanced component for our Army, Plant and Air Forces.
Now, police have detained State Minister for Karamoja, Agnes Nandutu, over the diverted iron sheets investigation. The minister earlier today surrendered herself to CID headquarters at Kibuli after snubbing earlier criminal summons. Her file on abuse of office and theft of iron sheets is pending DPP's guidance. Take a watch.
The theft and diversion of the iron sheets meant for the vulnerable people of Karamoja has led to the arrest of the State Minister for Karamoja, Agnes Nandutu. Minister Nandutu had appeared at the CID police headquarters in Chibuli following criminal summons issued, though she had earlier failed to show up.
This is a very good action because we know of others whom we have to look for, including putting in a lot of funds, including using Interpol at trace for them, but she has brought herself to the police. So we encourage other people in relation to files that are opened up against them to bring themselves to police, and this will save us time.
The State Minister for Karamoja Affairs is the fourth person to be held accountable in the iron sheet scandal. After the day's interrogation, Minister Nandutu was taken to Kira Police Division, an area where Amos Lugolobi's fate to prison started.
We are investigating her on the files that have been pending, including a file on abuse of office and theft of the iron sheets.
Nandutu remains in detention until the Director Public Prosecution guides over her file.
For example, in relation to any given file, the DPP can choose to guide the police to arrest other suspects that are included in the file. For example, in one statement there may be somebody else being talked about. So the DPP can choose to guide the police to either take off the person from the file or include a person to the file, depending on the evidence that is adduced in the files.
Relatedly, Minister for Finance Matia Kasaija has returned the iron sheets to the OPM stores in Namanthe. He joins the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Annette Among. At least 23 ministers and 30 members of parliament are implicated in the alleged theft and diversion of iron sheets meant for the people of Karamoja. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Kampala.
Now, opposition politicians under their pressure group, the People's Front, headed by Kano retired former President Forum for Democratic Party, Dr. Kizza Besigye, have revealed a strategy of intensifying mobilization of the population as they take forward what they refer to as their struggle. While addressing the media at Katonga Road in Kampala, the chairman of the People's Front, Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye, rebuted the failure of the pressure group to selfish interests of individuals who seek to gain positions in government.
They cracked down on ministers who allegedly misused their offices and took iron sheets that were meant to benefit the people of Karamoja, commenced following a presidential directive to the Prime Minister Robin Anabanja to have all those who took the iron sheets return them. The former president of Forum for Democratic Change Party and chairman, People's Front, retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye, says this issue is an insignificant part of the corruption in the country. Besigye described the entire scam of iron sheets as visible, justifying the easy arrests of suspects.
When the courts have worked, people are in jail, others are on bail, they are still ministers. So whoever steals should just, and his coach should just bring something back. Where will be the tariffs? If the only action on those who steal is to be requested to bring these things back.
However, retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye revealed that getting to the bottom of the matter will require an active and focused mobilization of the masses using a non-partisan approach.
As organization not been successful up to now, it is people who seek to gain positions, to gain privileges, to gain all kinds of things through the struggle itself. And once that happens, then there is a rivalry.
Besigye, however, was quick to clarify that his position in the fight for good governance and graft that had riddled the country is not premised on selfish interest, but for a common good.
Hopefully it helps to understand that there is a separation between struggle for the common good separate from struggle for personal positions or whatever. I've never been in the struggle for a personal position.
Besigye also attributed the management of the NSSF funds to the vested interests from non-savers to the funds, but wielding state power, which has been wrongly used to manage the fund to their selfish advantage at the cost of the saver. I'm Nafka Farida and Ivan Joko in Kampala.
Now, the government of Japan has committed $7.9 million to support refugees, host communities and vulnerable population in Karamoja sub-region. Minister for Relief, Refugees and Disaster Preparedness, Engineer Hilary Onek, told the media that the support has been channeled through the UNHCR, UNICEF, Food and Agriculture Organization, World Food Programme and UN Women.
Uganda will host a global refugee forum where countries with refugees will address challenges affecting refugees in all countries. Through United Nations and international organizations, Japan government has committed to Uganda a $7.9 million support for refugee districts.
We look forward to a year of close cooperation and collaboration with Japan. The governments of Uganda and Japan will soon launch the government settlement transformation agenda, a holistic plan for refugees and host communities.
The ambassador of Japan to Uganda, His Excellency Fukuzawa Hidemoto, says Japan government will also create access to affordable, safe and nutritious food for all people to overcome the vulnerability of the global food system.
With a strong focus on nutrition and food security, primary health care, gender equality, including protection of women from sexual gender-based violence and accountability.
The United Nations High Commission for Refugee Representative applauded the collaboration between Uganda and Japanese government.
This expression of solidarity marks the genuine humanitarian commitment of the government of Japan and of its people towards the cause of refugees in Uganda and beyond.
The UNICEF Uganda country representative Dr. Muni Salhidun says the intervention targets over 375,000 girls, boys, women and men in building resilience of communities and government systems to prevent and respond to recurrent food security and malnutrition crisis in Karamoja.
UNICEF also empowers mothers to monitor their own children with measuring tape for early detection and treatment of malnutrition. And this shows that the interventions under malnutrition are not only immediate humanitarian response, they are part of the long-term development response as well.
Uganda hosts over 1.5 million refugees and is the largest refugee host country in Africa. Majority of refugees come from South Sudan, DRC and Somalia. Story filed by Andrew Sabira for UBC News.
A Minister for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Frank Tumwebazi, has warned dairy farmers against milking cows immediately after vaccination to avoid causing possible cases of cancer. He also cautioned dairy farmers and producers against adding foreign substances in milk to avoid compromising quality. Minister Tumwebaze was speaking during the distribution of chaff cutters and milking machines for clean milk production here in Kampala. Henry Okrut reports.
They are 22 in number, 11 chaff cutters and 11 milking machines, worth 200 million Uganda shillings, that will drive Uganda's quest for clean and quality production of milk. Minister for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Frank Tumwebaze, emphasized clean milk harvesting processes and called for responsibility of dairy farmers.
When DD is coming in to give you this equipment, it is all intended to improve the quality of the milk that you sell, and which milk gives many other products to the world. We still have people who milk cows that have been vaccinated or treated that day. These things you need to talk stronger about it.
State Minister for Animal Industry, Ramirama Bright Kanyontore, wants all necessary milk processing procedures to be followed for quality production and marketing.
We need 3 things in order to be commercial farmers. The first one, we must have the genetics correct. The second one is that we must make sure that our animals are well fed. The third one is that we must make sure that the animals are very healthy.
Dairy Development Authority answers all this in affirmative.
We have mobile testing facilities from the farm gate to the transportation to regional laboratories to test and analyze samples up to the National Analytical Lab. But also we are doing licensing of all stakeholders and inspect their premises to ensure that they are producing high quality products and milk.
This is part of the Clean Milk Production Campaign in Uganda, launched on 27th October 2020. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Now, heavy alcohol use has been linked to HIV epidemic among fishing communities on Lake Victoria, with women most affected. Chisoboka Dissemination on Alcohol and HIV Care report shows a linkage between HIV, alcohol consumption and antiretroviral therapy adherence among the fisher folks. The report was released by Makerere School of Public Health and San Diego State University here in Kampala.
The current HIV prevalence of 6.2% among women and 4.7% among males and among the youth shows a need to contain the infections. Makerere School of Public Health researchers and San Diego State University investigated the causes of increased HIV among fisherfolks on Lake Victoria. An investigator, Professor Nazarius Tumwesigye, says the cash in the pocket increased economic insecurity, partially attributed to expenditure on alcohol.
There is reported reduction in alcohol consumption and also in our alcohol biomarker. We can get exact figures, but not in average amount of drinks you have per sitting or whatever, but what percentage actually has been drinking, that's 5 or more drinks.
Professor Nazarius Tumwesigye called for a need for effective interventions to address alcohol use and HIV care engagement and adherence to treatment. The Dean School of Public Health, Professor Rhoda Wanyezo, said challenges are beginning to grow in terms of alcohol and drug use.
More than half of the people that were screened, more than 1,000 people that were screened, had challenges with excessive use of alcohol and needed help, let alone those that were enrolled in the study. So this is a big issue, and all of us need to be thinking about it. The Ministry of Health, in terms of the broader policies, it is an area that requires thinking around the legislations, the policies, and how they are implemented and enforced.
But An investigator, Professor Susan Keane, expressed the need to intervene in alcohol consumption and HIV health care.
Somewhat lacking in terms of measures of alcohol consumption around kind of self-reported measures. And so our study was unique in that it used a biomarker for alcohol, so measuring alcohol in the blood, which assesses alcohol use over a period of time, which is somewhat unique.
However, the research has limitations with challenges of having few options for alcohol-free leisure activities. The research also shows promising results on the potential of efficiency of the Kisoboka intervention in reducing chronic heavy and hazardous alcohol use. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Let's go to Kabale now, where the Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Operations, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, has arrived in Kabale ahead of the much-anticipated Thanksgiving ceremony slated for tomorrow, Wednesday the 19th, in celebration of the Gatuna-Katuna border reopening. General Muhoozi's visit was marked by the launch of a boat ambulance at Lake Bunyonyi as part of the Rukidi Kijjanangoma activation. Robert Onyango reports from Kabale.
The Rukidi Kijjanangoma activation has been kicked off with a bicycle competition flagged off at Gatuna border. At midday, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba touched the grounds of Kabale Golf Course. His path through Kabale Central Business District caught everybody's eye. As he waved to the cheerful supporters, for others it was fanfare full of music, dance and praises. He was then led to Lake Bunyonyi ahead of the commissioning of a multi-billion, fully-fledged boat ambulance.
Mwenu jeno nena kusima munonga mumesho gabanya Kigezi kandi basime munonga abo kugira umutima ogukunda abanya-Uganda okabasa okora kukira basika kandi okatunywanirira tukabasa kutunga eri ryato
murije mwebare kuija ombwinji mwebare kutwakira.
Later, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba returned to Kabale town, where he started by laying a wreath at the Fronasa War Veterans Monument at Kigezi grounds. Still at Kigezi grounds, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba inspected and flagged off a friendly football game between Uganda and Rwanda.
But there is what they call talent. So, and talent can make you even richer than anybody in this world. You have seen people, the Drogbas, they don't have masters, but because of football, they are famous.
The intention is team building, brotherhood, cementing relationship, cementing brotherhood, cementing our nation love.
With an intention of cementing brotherhood of the two countries, because we are one.
On 19th April 2023, which is this Wednesday, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba will be the main celebrant at the Rukidi Kijjanangoma at Kigezi Lower School Playgrounds. I'm Robert Onyango and Sharon Chomugisha for UBC News.
Civil society organizations have underscored the need for increased budgetary allocation to the health sector to address 10 thematic areas on healthcare delivery. There is inadequate human resources for health, stockouts of essential medicines, financing for primary healthcare, and procurement and maintenance of health equipment. Now, this comes at a time when Parliament is scrutinizing the budget for the financial year 2023-2024. We have more in this story.
Recently, government revealed plans to deliberately shift the population from a curative health system to a preventive lifestyle that is arguably cost-effective. This was to be realized through a community health strategy with improved access to primary health care services.
Every time procurement of ambulances is on the budget, it falls in the category of unfunded priorities. We still believe that government needs to take a first step to put money into the National Ambulance Service. If you look at the East African community, it is only Uganda and South Sudan that do not have national ambulance services.
As Parliament scrutinizes the current budget draft for the next financial year, civil society organizations show key areas that should be prioritized in as far as delivery of quality health services is concerned.
Parliament needs to address to ensure that we allocate resources to ensure that the community health strategy is eventually put into operationalization. So we need to allocate additional resources to facilitate primary health care, especially newly upgraded health facilities. We need to invest in strengthening primary health care to include working with the village health teams, capacitating them, among others.
The ministerial policy statement indicates that there is likely to be a wage shortfall of 47.9 billion shillings in the next financial year.
Regional referral hospitals continue to be hit hard and they don't have money to recruit additional staff. If you look at the ministerial analysis on page 2, you'll see that Gulu, for example, Gulu Hospital, Regional Referral Hospital needs 1.7 billion to recruit staff. Yumbe Hospital needs 4.9 billion. Kawempe, those of you who know Kawempe, it needs 12.3 billion. We are saying we need to go beyond recruit to replace, to recruit to fill the existing gaps, beyond just replacing staff that we have.
Mbarara City Member of Parliament, Rita Atukwasa, points at the need to strengthen the primary health care.
We need to make sure that it champions to reduce unpaid care work for women, because most of the VHTs or village health teams and health workers are women who get up early to go to health facilities to do their voluntary services, and I think this far the government should be able to reward their efforts.
Despite relatively 78% staffing levels at the national level, staffing levels for specialists remains low. Dorcas Kimono, UBC TV News.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom voice bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21 hash or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, under the auspices of the East African Community, will host the 10th East African Petroleum Conference and Exhibition 2023 from the 9th to the 11th of May 2023 at the Kampala Serena Hotel in Uganda. Take full advantage of the investment opportunities in the East African region's vibrant oil and gas sector. To find out more on how to sponsor, exhibit, or attend the 10th EAPCE 23, visit www.eapce23.eac.int.
Glow as you are with the new Spark 10 series smartphone from Airtel in partnership with Tecno. Own the timelines with picture-perfect selfies using the 32-megapixel selfie camera, 256GB storage, G88 gaming processor, and a strong battery to last the whole day. Haha! Towakana.
The Spark 10 smartphone comes with free 3GB from Airtel and 100% bonus on weekly and monthly bundles every month for 3 months, so you can stay connected to a world of possibilities. Dial *100 *5 hash to enjoy free data. The new Spark 10 is available in all selected Tecno shops countrywide. Airtel, the smartphone network in partnership with Tecno. Stop at nothing.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Ekitufuula ekyenjawulo ge mazika agatali ga bulijjo ageekoledde erinnya. Ebirira eby'omu ggakiira ebyewuunyisa. Kw'ossa n'enjatuza ebivuga eby'ekinnansi n'ebirala bingi. Okuva ng'ennaku z'omwezi 26 okutuusa ng'ennaku z'omwezi 29 omwezi guno twegatteko ku Commonwealth Resort e Munyonyo mu mwoleso gw'obulambuzi ogwa Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo 2023. Jangu ovumbule nate ekyenjawulo ekiri mu kisaawe ky'ebyobulambuzi kye tukuteekateekedde. Tukyalire ku www.poate.co.ug obookinga ekifo kyo ate nga bweweteekateeka okuyiga kw'ossa n'okuvumbula by'obadde tomanyi. Omwoleso gwa Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo 2023 gukutuusibwako Uganda Tourism Board nga bali wamu ne competitiveness and enterprise development project.
Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. A warm welcome to those of you just joining us. On sign language, it is Elizabeth Nakakuni. I am Rukidi Kijjanangoma. Now, the Minister for Works and Transport, General Katumba Wamala, has called for more joint efforts between government, the private sector and civil society towards promoting road safety advocacy in the country. Now, this was during a road safety breakfast meeting with members of the Uganda Road Safety Coalition, parliamentarians, judicial officers, police and government technical officials at Kampala Serena Hotel.
The increasing road carnage due to indiscipline coupled with inadequate enforcement on Ugandan roads, there is need for joint efforts between the government, parliament, traffic police, the judiciary, private sector and civil society to end the vice. Addressing stakeholders during a road safety breakfast meeting organized by the Uganda Road Safety Coalition at Serena Kampala Hotel, the Minister for Works and Transport, General Katumba Wamala, expressed concern that 4.4 trillion Uganda shillings, which translates to 2.5% of the national GDP, is lost annually due to road accidents costs, with 12 people dying.
Don't use the wrong side of the road. Be patient, just for 5 minutes, not even 5. Sometimes it's just a minute before the traffic opens. So I think I agree with the traffic officer. Of course, the challenge, because this is maybe the minister with the flag. If he had flagged him down, but we shall address them.
The Director Uganda Traffic Police, Lawrence Nuwabini, highlighted the challenges of manual traffic enforcement, which must be replaced by modern automated enforcement.
Where are we
in enforcement in this country. We deal with the physical enforcement by placing human beings. Automation of enforcement is so urgent in this country.
The acting principal judge, Musa Sekana, revealed the Judiciary Department's intention of introducing special courts dealing with traffic-related offences soon.
And we try to fill in the gaps. So definitely this will be taken up, and I commit and pledge that it will definitely be acted upon immediately. I thank you very much for listening to me, for God and my country.
RASCO officials Fred Tumwini Nkuru and Jackie Okao of the Global Health Advocacy Incubator said the meeting will boost the road safety campaign in the country.
We receive the minister and his technical people. We receive officials from KCCA, officials from UNRWA, officials from police, and also members of parliaments. They are in support of road safety promotion in Uganda.
That supports the operationalization of the 2020 Traffic and Road Safety Action Measures and for developing the National Road Safety Action Plan.
The meeting attracted members of parliament from various sectoral committees, representation, judiciary, Ministry of Works and Transport, KCCA, civil society actors, media, among others. Story filed by Juko Collins Edward for UBC News.
Thank you, Minister.
To Karamoja sub-region now, where it is some good news from that area now, following Pastor Robert Kayanja's Karamoja Cry initiative that just started as a campaign to mobilize food relief for the people of Karamoja, but now has been transformative in realizing food security. The people are mobilized to embrace food production using modern agricultural processes like use of tractors. Take a watch.
This is Pastor Robert Kayanja demonstrating that everyone can play a role in the development and transformation of Uganda. In 2022, Pastor Kayanja Ministries started the Karamoja Cry initiative to mobilize food relief for the people. At least tons of special protein nutrient-rich food relief were delivered to the people of Karamoja.
This was one of the Tatars left home alone with our grandchildren. And you see, we are fighting hunger in Karamoja, and we're transforming the mindset and lives of people in Karamoja. We are telling them, and they know that this food, they've been seeing the maize grow in the garden, and they're saying, is this the maize that was really growing in our gardens, and the beans? Is it the one that is processed right now and being given back to us? This is what you people are doing.
Karamoja sub-region, with about 1.2 million people, is faced with hunger and malnutrition occasioned by long dry spells that cause crop failure. The initiative that was started as a short-term intervention has become a long-term life changer to the people of Karamoja.
Thank you for the great work. I didn't know what to expect. I've never been here before. Everybody has been asking me, have you been to Karamoja? I said, no. When are you going? I said, I don't know, because of my nature of work. But I want to thank you. We came here for charity, to help feed the people, mitigate the problem of hunger. Then they came back again. Then we realized people needed the clothes to plant food here. When I saw your soil on a video, I knew we can grow food here. Now when I was coming in and I could see from Lake Choga all the way here, I've never seen such a beautiful place. It is so rich, it is so ready to feed Africa. And how do we change Africa? We work together. How do we change Africa? We work for peace.
People here are mobilized to provide land for growing maize and beans using mechanized systems. The initiative works in a way that those that provide the land get 15% of the harvest. Pastor Kayanja's plan to open farmland in Karamoja was achieved after realizing that sending food relief alone would solve the problem for the short time.
Very, very nice initiative there for Karamoja people, and thanks Pastor Robert Kayanja. We'll now take a short break and return with business.
Iwakato, this is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial star 100 star 1 hash, select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president. She is the hope of our community. And as a community leader, I will talk to others about how we must protect her against child marriage and teenage pregnancy because it affects us all. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from pregnancy. Because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Molt Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
It's the encounters with our majestic gorillas. The thrill of taking on the falls of the Nile River. The joy of discovering new traditions and a lot more. Join us at the 2023 Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo from the 26th to the 29th of April at the Commonwealth Resort, Munyonyo. Rediscover our country's uniqueness and see what the tourism sector has in store for you. Visit www.poate.co.ug to secure your spot and get set to learn, network and explore. The Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo is brought to you by the Uganda Tourism Board in partnership with Competitiveness and Enterprise Development Projects. Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
Jerry con! Jerry con! Hey, Master Blaster! Touch him, man! Buy Jerry con with muscle! Those ones who say go for you only. Mundava! Best movies I teach you. But never come up with the squad because of the cover is very far. Is you serious? Is serious you? What? Yeah? You step it on it. Add kilometers to your legs and you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru and Umaru refuse to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru, where? Jerry car.
Okukakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema.
Welcome back. Let's have a look now at the latest in business. Now, President Yoweri Museveni will host a delegation from Serbia to discuss opening foreign markets to Uganda's exports. The chairman, Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development, Audrey Rwabuogo, says the initiative targets export markets.
The Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development has a concept of trade representatives in Uganda's targeting export markets. Therefore, basic research would promote Uganda's products. President Yoweri Museveni will host a delegation from Serbia to discuss bilateral trade agreements.
So they are arriving and they are presenting a request to the government of Uganda to sign bilateral relations, trade relations, so that that market can open. They also are going to invite the President of Uganda to visit his counterpart, President Vučić, that's how they call him, in June to open a Uganda trade hub.
The committee will open up hubs to market Ugandan products in developed countries.
The idea is you go and look for a country with people that can afford more, right? You go to the US and look for, say, New York, and get on a street, get a good location on that street that has many people walking through. You design a shop for coffee. So people come in, the attraction is actually the coffee. But when you enter this coffee shop, you have beautiful pictures of Uganda.
We bring in skills and capacity building within our bigger consortium of associations. We want the people to start thinking for Serbia. We want them to start thinking for Europe, for America. That as they produce, they are looking at the end market.
And standards and compliance or enabling environment, that is how we have to think. We have to think that how are we going to enter this value chain, not only today, but for tomorrow.
President Museveni will also launch a $20 million fund to support key export sectors.
So initially the government of Uganda is putting in $20 million, and it is to support the main sectors: tourism, horticulture, coffee, beef. We have 13 products that are actually targeting, and that will be coming in from the government of Uganda. This is seed money,
which will do both value addition and trade. And so tomorrow we're hoping that we'll sign an MOU to actualize this fund.
This fund has come at a time we are in crisis. That's for sure, the whole world. But the market outside, for example, your place people, you have seen that there is rationing of food in London. Those used to be our masters. But if we don't use this chance to be the masters.
So I think access to funding for the private sector is very important, far from the traditional method of applying for funds from a bank, and it takes 2 months, 3 months, 8 months. You'll have all your contracts for export suspended.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Now, with only 36 months left to the anticipated commercial production of oil and gas, the Petroleum Authority of Uganda says it is critical to refine the local content in relation to the requisite market demand. The authority urges that training institutions must be keen on building capacity in legal matters, environmental regulations, research and development to enhance local content development.
Ahead of the annual Oil and Gas Expo, the Petroleum Authority of Uganda is advising that capacity development of local content that targets both public and private sector players in the multi-billion-dollar capital oil and gas industry is of essence, with only 2 years left to the planned commercial production.
IPSK is contributing to one of our key regulatory areas, which is research and development. Their courses are research-based. And as you know, in the sector, new things are coming up, new technology, new ways of dealing with different challenges. And we are very hopeful and very positive that the institution is going to actually contribute a lot.
This was after the National Council for Higher Education granted the Institute of Petroleum Studies in Kampala other awarding degree status that include postgraduate training program in oil and gas, environmental health and safety management, among others.
Our approach to teaching and learning process will be deliberately designed to address the challenges of the postmodern student and create sustainable solutions for a fast-changing world.
According to officials, this new development will go a long way in addressing a major challenge for the energy sector in the region.
The idea is to provide a new body of information. One thing that is very crucial for growing institutions of learning, for industries actually, is the ability to study and create new knowledge. The Institute of Petroleum Studies is daring to step into that area.
The arrival of oil rigs used in drilling of oil wells in December 2022 has since accelerated activities in the sector, particularly in what is being described as the development phase. Mary Namkose, Vincent Wamundu, UBC News.
Now, beneficiaries of the global training have told UBC that the benefits of the training are to ensure that the trainee gets employment. The Chief Executive GSM 5, Raza Ali, says the skills include GSM engineering, mobile phone engineering and hardware engineering. Take a watch.
As you enter the GSM 5G training branch near Ntinda Junction, the sight of a woman dismantling and reassembling electronic gadgets is not surprising. She is Gloria Agava, a university graduate with BCom, who joined the Ntinda-based GSM 5G branch to train in mobile phone engineering.
Trained in a number of things, like repairing a mobile. I can open it in no minute. I can repair the motherboard. I remove the battery. I repress it. I can solder the motherboards. We have everything we do here. I can solder the motherboards if it has a problem.
The GSM 5G course has a package that enables the youth start a business with skills of home manufacturing.
GSM 5G, it's a company training the 5th generation, empowering the youth. We started on repairing mobiles, the laptops.
These are key areas in empowering the youth. GSM 5G proprietor told UBC that at least 50 youth who have trained in ICTs have already set up business ventures.
The doors are open for GSM 5G. We are there to teach you with no any cost. Whatever department you will choose, we shall really focus on you. Either way it is hardware engineering, either way it's a laptop engineering, either way it's a software engineering, either way it's even satellite engineering. We have a
Therefore, the youth must finish school and take the 8 months free GSM 5G course, which enables them enter the job market.
I appeal to the government of Uganda to have a policy for a youth on ICT.
In the initial phase, GSM 5G targets 1,000 graduates. Every school graduate seeks employment, but the first step on the job market is to get employable skills.
Welcome back, and let's have a look at the latest in sports, and we look at cycling, where Uganda Cycling Association expects a splendid turn-up and quality competition at the Labour Day bicycle race that will be hosted at the Lubiri in Mengo. John Ban-Sentamo reports.
Uganda's top bicycle riders are bracing for the upcoming Labour Day bicycle race that Uganda Cycling Association has confirmed for 1st May at the Lubiri in Mengo.
Tuinamu belaiti neba juniors bajja kuvuga emirundi 10 okwetooloola Lubiri.
This race comes at a time when Uganda is preparing a team for the World Cycling Championship in Glasgow, Scotland.
I call upon and I request those people using the border this time, no border in the race, and we have already contacted the police, traffic officer, even our organizing committee. We need the supporters, but we don't need the border in the race to disturb the race.
It's expected to be a huge turnout for the race that is likely to attract riders and fans from far and wide.
I take this opportunity to call people from the world, residents of Busika, residents of Zorowe, residents of Rwamunanika, to come and be part of this rally, which is going to be held on Labor Day at Lubiri here in Kampala. Please come and register and also participate. But also we hope, given the love that we have for this game or this sport, we hope to have our own rally, which will be organized within our region to be well.
Cycling has been an oldest sport in the country, and we want to make sure we continue promoting it like any other country. So coming there, it will be fun and it will be a chance to explore more opportunity to develop the cycling sport.
Some of the riders expected to grace the event include Davis Nyoita, Florence Nakagwa, Mary Alepa, Umaru Bakashaba, Aziz Sempija, Veronica Ndagire, and Rachel Mukoda. John Banza Sentamo, UBC News.
5 minutes to 9 in the studios of UBC TV. We finally come to the end of the first edition of News Tonight, this Tuesday, the 18th day of April 2023. Thank you so much for having kept us company on sign language. It has been Elizabeth Nakakoni, and I'm Rukidi Kijjanangoma. See you shortly at 10. But up next here on UBC TV is a PPDA talk show.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless. This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president. She is the hope of our community. And as a community leader, I will talk to others about how we must protect her against child marriage and teenage pregnancy, because it affects us all. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from pregnancy. Because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Jerry Khan!